Lifeless is definitely a word you could use. And I know a lot of people, myself included, have talked about the Philadelphia Phillies coddling some of their young, up-and-coming would-be stars. They live in the majors. They live in the minors too long. You don't need that much time down there to develop. You either got it or you don't. See what you can do at the major league level sooner rather than later. Okay, well, Derrick Hall is 26 years old. He's been mashing. He mashed at Reading, hit 20 home runs while he was at Reading, hit 20 home runs this year while he was at Lehigh Valley. A lot of times, guys like Scott Kingery, for instance, will hit 26 home runs while he's playing for Reading, and then he doesn't really show that power ever again in his career. So for me, you hit at Reading. A lot of people had at Reading. We can hit at Reading. We can go back to Matt Rosati, who was a Phillies farmhand that was hitting bombs in Reading. He never even saw the light of day as a major league player. Darren Ruff was hitting bombs for Reading, and he was able to translate it a little bit to the Lehigh Valley level before he came to the big league level and went to Korea for a year and then figured things out with the San Francisco Giants. Good for him. But my point is Derrick Hall is hitting both parks. That's a good sign for the minor league system of the Philadelphia Phillies. So they said, all right, 20-year-old 20 home run hitter, get on up here to the majors. You can't say you're coddling him if he's batting fourth. Now, is it the right move? No, it's not the right move. That was the first thing Rob Thompson did that I really was not a huge fan of. Old Topper, as our friend Garrett Stubbs was telling us earlier in the week, I did not like it. I didn't like it a little bit. There are other guys you could have moved around in this lineup to put in that spot without putting all the pressure in the world on a guy that's just fresh out of the majors. Or should be fresh out of the minors in the majors now. That wasn't needed to happen. You could have batted him anywhere else in the lineup. Batted him down the lineup, give him a bit of a break, especially because he just found out a couple hours beforehand that he was going to the show, as they say. To me, I thought if you were going to move Castellanos out of that spot, I thought Hoskins could have been moved down in that spot. Maybe you move Castellanos up in the order a little bit. You moved him to third already. Why not make it a little bit different and put Hoskins down in that spot to fourth? Maybe you could have just flipped those guys, essentially. Rob Thompson decided not to do that. Derrick Hall goes in there and still has yet to get his first big league hit. I didn't think that was the right move going into yesterday. I didn't like it for just Derrick Hall's case. And I didn't like it for what it means for the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, again, you could go back to the fact that they went over the luxury tax, and now you have a kid coming up out of the minor leagues that's looking to save your lineup as your four-hole hitter. Okay, great. Not a good sign. Nick Castellanos does get moved up in the order to the 3 spot, to the 3-hole, and he still looks lost at the plate. Mickey Moniak, I don't even think has played 50 games in the major leagues. I'm watching a guy in Nick Castellanos that looks just as lost as Mickey Moniak. Now, who am I more confident that will turn a corner at some point this season? Well, yes, obviously it's Nick Castellanos. However, they should never look the same. They should only look the same if Mickey Moniak actually goes on a tear. And that's not happening anytime soon, unfortunately. And I'm pulling for the guy. I'm rooting for the guy. I just don't see it happening. And when you look at Castellanos, I know I made a big deal about the fact that he hasn't homered in June. Well, yesterday I was going through some of the numbers, and I'm like, what's his first homerless month? Like, when was the last time Nick Castellanos had a homerless month? Now, when I say a month, I mean he played significantly. It wasn't just like a couple games in April, a couple games, 2 games in March or whatever. It wasn't anything like that. It was like significant, like at least 30, 40 at-bats. Sure enough, you have to go back all the way to 2015. September of 2015 is the last time Nick Castellanos had a month of any substance where he failed to hit a home run. If he does not hit a home run today, after 6:05 start time tonight, this will be his first homerless month since September of 2015. That's god-awful. And I have tried to remain optimistic about the Phillies with Bryce Harper being out. If this guy gets hot, if this guy does that, hero by committee, then they'll be fine and dandy and they'll be able to still compete with the Braves. Well, losing this series already right out of the gate with the Braves doesn't make me feel too good about that. But they're not going to be able to do any of that if Nick Castellanos isn't hitting. They need someone to step up.